Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to this Monday afternoon, March 10th. We're looking at Window Trader's market profile of the S and NQ. So the bloodshed continues. I had that offer that I said this was the last week, yesterday going into this week. And 5 people signed up. Still was the last week. I'm not doing it anymore. But I think these 5 people got a really, really good understanding, okay, about what this trading room is about. And how on a day like today, this is my favorite type of day, not only do I keep people out of trouble, but get them into the action to make money on the short side. This market did not tell you to long it at any point, okay? If anything, it told you to short when the market went up for an afternoon rally high in G period, and even when M period started, when it filled the set of single prints in ES and NQ. Which turned out to be a really nice short for me in M period. I don't really trade L and M, but I did today and did very, very well. Did well throughout the entire day based on what the market was telling us. Now, first off, let's start with righty. So righty ends. Righty and ES are the same. They did not hold trend. Okay? They tried. No. In fact, righty had single prints in B filled, H, I, J. They had 4 sets of single prints. All got filled. So they end up with just the afternoon rally high and the day's high and low. ES also had single prints in B, H, and another set, a small, and I, and never held them. So we never held trend. NQ went from a quadruple distribution day down to a double distribution day down. They only hold 1 set, but they still held trend. Okay? So ES has their second largest range of the year. And believe me, these ranges have been tremendous. $14. And the only thing they have is an afternoon rally high. NQ's range was, what was NQ's range? Over $15. Now they do have a set of singles and an afternoon rally high. Volume was pretty good, okay? Right now, in SPY, we're at 80, just under 88 million. It's going to be the second highest of the year. Triple Qs is at 72 million. Does this mean long-term money's selling it? No, I don't think so. Because with these kind of ranges and stuff, like I said, I want to see 150 million. Now look, short, long-term money is always in the market, especially in individual stocks. But who's dictating the market? I don't think it's long-term money here in ES and NQ. It's too orderly. They're taking back trend days, right? They would be smashing every level in sight. Now, they are doing that to a point. Like everybody, and I try to get the thinking out of my traders' minds when NQ is at 20. Maybe they'll hold 20,000. Forget that. Maybe they'll hold, this, that. I'm like, forget those levels. These algos are set to go get destinations. And they hit a lot of them today. The market's down a lot now from their highs. But I'm going to say it probably for the 1,000th time. Because if anybody's still getting hurt long in it, maybe it'll finally sink through. Nothing changes until you take out a daily high. Nothing. All right? I'm sure there's people screaming excess at L's low. Meanwhile, they forgot all about the excess at A's high that told you should be short this market basically the whole day. Okay? Right? I mean, that's something that you learn as a trader, and that's something we stress in here, how visual a market is. Now, I'm not going to even go over all my trades. I had 1 loss today. That was in A period on an ebb and flow trade short that the market pushed up pretty good, and I took it off. Everything else, though, was a short. Everything else was a winner. I got my staple trades. I got the overnight low. I got yesterday's low in the NQ. Everything was in NQ. I got the short in B to get A's low. Then shorted against the single prints, ebb and flow, all time frame. I got the short in C to get the IB low, and I nailed that one. And again, ebb and flow and turnover. The market was down so strong that on the turnovers, they didn't push down as much as I thought they would, but they still pushed down pretty good at times to give us nice trading opportunities. Okay? E period. Took the short against the single print fill the first time against C singles in NQ. That worked out. I shorted H, I, J, L, M. The only short I didn't take was G period because at the time POC was at D's high. I'm sorry, F's high. And I didn't think it got far enough away. Now with the new lows on the day, POC got lowered. But for those of you who have followed me long enough, you know that I want to see an extension away from the point of control if I'm looking for an afternoon rally high or an afternoon pullback low. And I didn't think we had gotten it enough. Obviously, I was wrong. That was it. And we ended up lowering POC. That's the only thing I missed. Okay? Again, this room will pay itself off 1,000 times over on a day like today, keeping you out of trouble. Okay? I want to go to the charts. I'm not going to go over destinations because they're in bigger increments. This is a new yearly low. We have now taken out the last what? Middle of September to the middle of March. So that's what? October, November, December, January, February, March. 6 months. We have wiped out 6 months of longs in this move. Okay? Now let's go to the charts. I know I recapped them all on Friday, but let's look at some of them. Look at ES. I kept ES in balance longer than most people because I was using November's low, but I called it down last week. Low is certainly down. Okay? Look at the weekly. Down. Daily. Not only is it down, now we're below the 200-day moving average by just about $11.50. Now again, I always say one day doesn't make a market, and it doesn't. However, at some point, it's going to be interesting to see if we stay below it. Do we? Long-term money looks at this. In fact, they probably look at this one more than anything else. So if we can't get back above it, you never know if long-term money says, okay, there's still really good profits from 23 and 24 in this market. I want out. That's a possibility. On the flip side, if we ever stop the carnage, and again, you can't do that until you take out a daily high to start taking baby steps, and we get back above it. Now again, they're not going to come flying in to buy the first day it closes above the 200. But if we form a base, if we form balance down here at some point, and come out of that balance on the daily, say to the up above the 200, then you might find some long-term money say, okay, I think we put in a low, at least short-term. We have money to put to work. Let's do it. So eventually, I would think something like that might happen. But for now, we're down on everything. The other thing I really want to show you is IWM. We spoke back on February 21st. Okay, it's 3 weeks ago. They closed below the 200-day moving average. They never closed below it all last year. They got below it briefly, but never closed below it. And like I said, one day doesn't make a market, but 13 days does make a market. I said, keep an eye on it. We haven't closed above it since the day before that. We got up to it actually one day, 3 days later, look at that, and then failed again. We always say they're the canary in the coal mine at times. The other thing, if you want to look, is in comparison to their last all-time high. Last time they put in an all-time high was November of 21. Failed miserably, and they went from their highs of 245 down to 162. Right? Well, we made our all-time high back in November. Both times it was in November. Now, it wasn't as bad the next month. It was an inside month. That's still balanced, just like this put us back to balance this month. And since then, we've come out of it and done what? Go down. So if they don't stop this kind of bloodshed, this whole level here around the low, around the 160 level, again, will be a very, very important level going forward, I believe, in IWM. Now, I'm not saying we're going there. That's still 20. That's 20% away. But right now, there are definitely similarities from 21 and 2024. Okay? So keep that in mind. And NQ and triple Qs, basically, here they are. There's their monthly. They're certainly down out of a 3-month balance. Weekly, down. And the daily, also down. And they also now, they're only below the 200 for 3 days. SPY has now gotten below it. How many days is it now? Oh, this is only the first day, right? It's just the first day to close? I think so. So anyway, again, look at the volume. 95.5 million. If we start putting together some good volume here, over 100 million in consecutive days, maybe then I would say, hey, is somebody nibbling on the buy side? You're going to know if they get out on the sell side. I can tell you that. Right? Now, we were down 2.5% today, a little over. NQ is down just under 4%. I can assure you, you'll know if there's long-term money selling this market. So keep an eye out for that. I hope you had a good day trading. Hope you stayed safe. Enjoy your evening. And we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.